Hello, people on the YouTube sphere. It is I, the Comic Relief Crusader. What's up, everybody? Wow, show number 5. I honestly did not think that I would be doing a 5th live broadcast. This is kind of weird, kind of wacky. Wow, what a week. God, maybe a week and a half it has been. It is so crazy. A lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. God, Neil Adams passing away, and then George Perez and Mr. Bama, not Obama, but Bama. Um, the guy that did the Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, who did those covers, he passed away as well. Damn, it's been a rough week, comic wise. The passing of legends. It's nuts. Neil Adams, what can I say? Dude was awesome with a pencil, redefining Batman and God and a lot of other DC characters. And then again, the same with George Perez as well. I love George's work. And if you've seen the video from yesterday, I pretty much said all there is to say about that. I mean, where I lived in New Brunswick growing up at the time, I didn't get to see these guys. I didn't get to go to, these major conventions that probably, a lot of you guys have. And, and meet these people. So it was always confined to a name on a page. So, yeah, I wish I would have had a run-in with the gentleman, but but I guess that's not going to happen. So, yeah, well, a lot of stuff else going on. God, I just finished up Moon Knight last week. I'm sorry, I just thought the whole series was disappointing. There is a podcast that I do with a couple of other guys, which I sort of kind of named. So you went ahead and made it awkward, and now you made it awkward podcast. So if you do a little search on YouTube, I'm sure you will find it. It is also a podcast, so you can download it and listen to it. But and no disrespect to the guys that I podcast with, Shoki and Ricky. Hey, they liked it and I didn't. I'm glad that they liked the, I suppose you could say, psychological aspect of the show. And while I do find that kind of stuff interesting, I just feel that it just did not properly touch on the actual character of what Mark Spector was, right? Stephen was supposed to be, rich, prompt, and prim and proper. And, Mark, obviously the mercenary, and the third one there, whose name eludes me right now. Yeah, he's supposed to be the thug. I don't know. What can I say? P Hard, finished that up too. What a freaking joke of a show. How does that even last? How does that even get 2 seasons? The first one alone was just ridiculous. And it's bad enough that you take this captain that was on Next Gen, and you're giving him his own show, and God, I don't know. Next thing you know, you're just the rest of your whole crew is just dropping F-bombs left, right, and center. And oh God, and that Raffi, God, I just can't stand that character, Raffi. Jeez, this drunk pill popping uh junkie of a woman that, I'm sorry, to me she looks like a bag lady, and she doesn't even seem like officer material. I'm sorry, just God, this show was just craptastic. It was just not good. I just I just can't stand this show. I just can't. It was just so bad. Yeah, so anyway, so that was P Hard. What's the other one that I'm watching? Halo. So I don't know. I've only played the first game. Over the years, I'm not much of a, I don't know, not much of a gamer much anymore, honestly. I don't know. What can I say? Hey, Blaster. How's it going, man? Nice to have you aboard for another weekend. Or weekday. So yeah, with Halo, I only played the first game. So I'm not into the big history of, the whole Halo verse. I mean, I know a bit, basically to get me by, and I mean, watching the show, and it's okay. I mean, it's not the best. But I guess the last episode with Quan was a whole Quan episode, so it didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really advance the story much, obviously. It's just that, I'm here to defeat bad guy. I need big, giant, strong man to help me, which is okay. I get it. And I guess there's, 2 episodes left? And I don't know. It's probably more than likely, obviously, going to hang on a cliffhanger, hopefully. So, you know what? I'm not having too much of a problem with this show. So there's those 3 out of the way. So Moon Knight, P Hard season 2, and Halo. And yeah, I don't know what it is with those 2 guys. Just trying to convince me to really like this show, or maybe I want to hate this show. It's like, no, it's not for the fact that I want to hate this show, meaning Moon Knight. And like I said, no disrespect to Shoki or Ricky. It's just, to me, I'm a comic guy. The comics, the story, the characters, what these creators made always came first. And the shows should reflect that, because after all, that's what made the characters popular in the first place. Once you start tampering with the recipe, it's not going to taste the same. So that's just my opinion. So what else came over the weekend? Doctor Strange. We've had quite the weekend of Doctor reveals. So we've had Doctor Strange, and then we had the new revelation of a new Doctor. So bye-bye Jodie Whittaker. God, she cannot get out of Doctor Who fast enough. Crap. I hate her as the Doctor, but I'm going to get into that a little later. So, yeah, what do we talk about first? Well, obviously, okay, Doctor Strange. Because obviously, hence the title of today's Titillating Tuesday. Doctor, can you tell me what I'm seeing? So, so, for all of you guys listening, yeah, this is going to contain spoilers. So, because I'm guessing most of you guys who are nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call yourselves, like me, by now probably has seen it. Or you just couldn't give two craps wanting to watch it. So, um, so I'm going to be doing spoilers away. So, you know what? I would give Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. And there's a few reasons why. Well, maybe 5, 6 out of 10. Okay. Excuse me. And I'm going to give you my reasons why. Why so low? I didn't hate it, but I wasn't exactly, I don't know. It just did not grip me. Um yeah, well, okay, let's put it this way. For an opening day, domestic wise, at the box office, um 200 million is not bad. And about, 275 million international. So you're looking at over about 480 million worldwide so far. So that's not too bad, for an opening weekend. Um, However, compared to Spider-Man, No Way Home, it's not huge. And for a movie to pretty much come after Spider-Man No Way Home, um, you'd think that this would be bigger because, what happened in Spider-Man kind of, reverberates into what should be happening in Doctor Strange. So, like I said, it's a good start, or is it better because it ties into Spider-Man No Way Home? I mean, that by now, because by now Spider-Man has, had its full run. It's hit $1.9 billion worldwide. And Spider-Man has had great reviews like everywhere. No complaints whatsoever. And yeah, it was total fan service. And that's pretty much what you need is fan service. I don't care what a lot of people say. And yeah, we know the whole story pretty much by now, or if you don't know, China didn't want to show Spider-Man because Lady Liberty was in the last fight scene, and heaven forbid you show anything in China that has to do with liberty and freedom and anything like that. So yeah, but who cares? That's China. Let them be all, hoity-toity about, what's shown and not shown. So, and I mean, because obviously they're not going to be showing, Doctor Strange, and neither are any of the Arab states whatsoever, pretty much because of a certain 12 seconds that takes place in Doctor Strange. But anyway, Sam Raimi directing. I mean, he's come a long way since Evil Dead, and he's had quite a lot of hits. But to me, I don't know. The script for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it seems like a bit of a convoluted mess, of sorts, because it has to deal with being after Spider-Man and dealing with that mess that is also WandaVision from last year on Disney Plus. So, and and I know a lot of people liked WandaVision probably only because it was like, the first in its series, and Wanda and Vision, and yeah, that was pretty much mediocre at best. I liked what they tried to do, but what they did do, uh, I don't know. It Marvel Plus, or sorry, Disney Plus. It's it's not having a good time. It's not. It's yeah, it's having a hard time making really good shows. They're constantly missing the mark all the time. Um, so yeah, to me, it's a little bit of a convoluted mess, right? Here's what I got. You know, here's where I have a few problems with this film. Okay, first and foremost, Doctor Strange is not the Sorcerer Supreme in this movie. Okay, like with what happened in the first movie, when the Ancient One, obviously, basically she passes the torch. Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme, right? He's the Sorcerer Supreme through Infinity War. He's the Sorcerer Supreme in Spider-Man, but because he goofed up a spell, it's like Wong, who's basically a glorified librarian, and especially in the comic where he's supposed to be, kind of like his, hate to say the word, manservant, his butler, basically, let's put it that way, to be politically correct. Um, now he's the Sorcerer Supreme? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't give a crap. What? I shouldn't say I don't give a crap. Whatever Stephen Strange did. Oh, hello, Janet from another planet. Janet from another planet. Nice to see you here. Um, you know, yeah, whatever Doctor Strange did in Spider-Man No Way Home, sure, he goofed up. But you know what? He fixed the problem. Of course, primarily it had to do with, Peter constantly yakking on, yap, 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 yap. Oh, I can't, don't forget this. I don't want this person to forget. I don't want that person to forget. So I get it. It was a botched up spell, primarily caused by, Peter's constant yapping, blah, blah, blah. But Strange fixed it, right? So, but no, we can't make him the Sorcerer Supreme now because he screwed up. Yeah, but he fixed the problem. Doesn't matter. He's a white male, and we're going to be making Wong the Sorcerer Supreme, even though technically he's supposed to be Doctor Strange's servant slash librarian, blah, blah, blah. So that was the first thing that I had a problem with, right? If you're not the Sorcerer Supreme, well, then, Wong should take center stage, but that wouldn't be a Doctor Strange movie. Okay, so like I said, this is gonna be full of spoilers. So I'm sorry if you don't like this, or if you don't even plan on seeing the movie. Good enough. Okay, so basically, in the beginning, you have America Chavez. I like the fact that her denim jacket looks like, I don't know, the American flag, or supposed to be the Puerto Rican flag. I don't know. And alternative Doctor Strange, and obviously they're running away from this demon thing to get the Book of Ashanti. So things obviously don't go as planned, and Alt Strange thinks that she has to take Puerto Rico Chavez's power, You know, but then he changes his mind, and I get that, probably because he's like, oh crap, monsters got her anyway. Um, and basically saves her, right? As she portals through to another alternate universe, right? So, uh, but yet throughout the whole movie, um, Guatemala Chavez, is still going on that, that basically in the end, that's, Strange, 616 Strange, let's put it that way. 616 Strange is basically the only good one. It's like, well, you know what? The Strange that you were in whatever bizarro universe that he was in, or that they were in at the time, you know, did realize his mistake and let her escape. So it's like he did kind of redeem himself. So, but I don't know. Whatever. Plus, the other thing I got a problem with is, since when does taking somebody's power mean that it's going to kill somebody? Right? It's, hey, Deef, how's it going? And we got Mr. Hyde's Pop Culture Express. Ghoulish greetings to you. And Andrew Deef, howdy. And yes, because Janet, I love you, I will display your hello as well. So, and Snaggle Frigglepuss, that's, wow, that's a name. So I would get tongue-tied. Also, hail to you. So, hail to everybody so far. Yeah, so when does taking someone's power mean that it's going to kill someone? This is something I really don't get, right? I don't know. It's not like you're sucking their DNA out of their body, thereby, rendering them, you know, to the point of, death. I don't get this. It's like, you know what? Cells regenerate. Um, like, it's not like you're a vampire and gonna drain them dry or something like that. Or then again, I don't know. It's like they really don't elaborate much on how Puerto Rico Chavez's power works. Really, it's like she doesn't even know how her powers work, right? So I don't know. All I know is that I can hop from multiverse to multiverse and la di da di da di da di da. It's like, okay, well, that's just great, and yeah, okay, whatever. So, okay, so apparently, so she lands in what is later on revealed to be, you know, this Marvel MCU universe. Apparently, this is supposed to be 616, which also I have a problem with, but whatever. That's something till later. So, the other thing I get, or that I have a problem with, is why is Strange, like when Strange goes to Wanda, and like I said, if you just popped in, yeah, this is going to be like full of spoilers. So, you know, plug your ears, go la 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 la, or whatever. Or if you don't even plan on bothering to see this, then okay, not a problem. So, Strange goes to Wanda and it's like, yeah, there's this girl and she's running away from somebody trying to catch her. And, you're supposed to be the big leading user of magic on the planet. It's like, what? First of all, okay, because we've already established that Strange is not the Sorcerer Supreme for just because he goofed up in Spider-Man. And it's like, who? That's the other thing. Who takes the title away from him? Wong? Like Wong shames him or something like that? Get real. You're the librarian. You don't get to, you know, take away, a title like it's a toy or something like that. Anyway, so, that's the other problem I got with, because Strange is supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme. he is supposed to be obviously the one that is the most knowledgeable in, how to cast spells and stuff like that. Wanda, she just has hex powers, basically, primarily because she's a mutant. You know, sure, she has, some magical ability, but Strange is like, you're the most powerful magic user. It's like, what? No, no, it does not work that way. I'm sorry. So I got a problem with that because it only seems like now that Doctor Strange is going to end up basically playing second fiddle in his own movie. Kind of like what happened with Shang-Chi, right? Even though, don't get me started on that movie because that movie was just a bag of smashed, what. So, and he played second fiddle in his own movie because Katie was the best. And, and Auntie, whatever faces, and, everybody else basically, oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get sidetracked here. So here's the thing I got a problem with. Okay, why is Strange okay with Wanda with what she did to the people in that town in WandaVision, right? That she basically played like a bunch of meat puppets. So nobody has a problem with this? Does anybody have a problem with this? I mean, guaranteed. If for how many episodes was WandaVision? Like I think about maybe 6 or 7. Um, these people are going to need very deep psychological help after essentially, like I said, being played like a bunch of meat puppets, right? So okay, so the only reason why, like, and she got found out. How does he justify that? How does Strange like just go, you know what? I know what you did with that town, and but I still need your help because you're an Avenger. It's like, no, I'm sorry, it shouldn't work that way. It it shouldn't, you know. And then tell Wanda where America Chavez is. Hmm, I don't know. If you knew somebody that essentially took over an entire town, diddled with their consciousness, and then basically you don't own up to it, like like come on, think about this for a second. I'm sure that the news obviously got out what Wanda did to the town, and the whole world by now obviously knows about it, right? So that kind of thing, um you can't just hide that. So I'm sure that Doctor Strange must have heard of this, but yet he still goes to Wanda. It's like, hey, I need your help. I mean, even the director in WandaVision says, and I quote, "You've taken an entire town hostage." To which Wanda responds, "I'm not the ones with the guns, director." It's like, he's pointing guns at you because you took an entire town hostage, you twit. It's cause and effect. But nobody says a thing, or I don't know, the writers couldn't come up with a rebuttal or something like that. I mean, what? Really? So anyway, God. Oh, this movie. So, Wanda obviously lets it slip, by saying her name. And, so obviously Strange knows the gig is up. Um, but, good God. Oh, this movie. You know, um, oh, by the way, yeah, Mother Zone also. they don't use magic to make kids. That was another thing that she said too that I thought was just so stupid. No, I'm sorry, they don't make kids with magic, Wanda. It's biology. So and I mean, if she loved Vision so much, why isn't she out looking for him? Why just the kids? Why not look for an alternative version for him, right? Wouldn't that make sense? If she deeply loved Vision so much that she stole his body, um, yeah, why aren't you going out looking for Vision? By the way, you don't even see Vision in this whole entire movie, which is bullcrap. Or and I was expecting Vision to at least maybe show up. But nope, you don't get that. So no Vision in that as well. Um, plus on top of that, doesn't it take two to tango? If you know what I mean. So how can even an android have kids? Even if she did find them in an alternate reality, who else would be the dad of the kids? Think about this for a second, right? Vision is an android. He is basically a robot. So, if in an alternate reality Wanda has kids, who's the dad? I'm sorry. It's not like Vision could, oh God, and I don't mean to be lewd or crude, but it's not like microchips can fertilize an egg. So that's what I don't get. I really honestly don't get it. So you got that, right? It's like she's not even searching for Vision even in the multiverse. No, she just wants the kids. Screw Vision, right? Whatever. Plus on top of that, using the argument that using the time stone essentially equally justifies killing one person to save millions is retarded. I mean, that's one of the arguments that Wanda uses with Stephen. And I thought, God, you are just so stupid. Strange gave the time stone because out of millions, I forget how many millions of outcomes that he looked before Thanos showed up, that was the only one that could defeat Thanos. Not to mention sacrificing his own life in the process, right? Because obviously he turned to dust. So, how is that even comparable? Right? Yeah, I don't know. So every argument that Wanda uses is just weak. Just totally weak. I don't get it. Unless one of you guys knows how you can justify it that way. I don't know. I don't. Also, primarily because this looks like the chat has gone quiet, so I don't know if anybody is still there. But whatever. I'm just going to keep on jabbering on like there is. Yeah. Anyway, so he goes to he goes to meet up to what was it, Carmitage, whatever the place is. They go prepare. Wong is there. Everybody's taking orders from him. It still burns my ass that Wong for some odd reason deserves the title of Supreme Sorcerer Supreme because I don't know reasons, because he just didn't like what Strange did. That just doesn't feel right. Yes, Wanda does need a doctor. She needs to be heavily, heavily sedated and brought up for psychological testing. Oh my God. Um, yeah. So here's the other thing that bugs me. Um, well, actually, more a couple of things. How does Wanda know of Peruvian Chavez and her powers if she's from a completely different reality? Like, I don't get it. Um, Mr. Hyde, I've come to realize that when it comes to new movies, trying to make sense of stupid ideas in writing, questioning it will cause you to drink. Oh my God. You know what? I so wanted to pick up probably maybe a bottle of Jack's or whiskey or something like that because yeah, I know it would cause me to drink and I don't want to turn into I don't want to turn into an alcoholic because some of these shows and some of these movies are just so I don't want to say they're so bad because that would imply that they're like, like a B movie, right? But then again, some B movies are just, they're like good bad, they're so bad that they're good, like that guilty pleasure kind of thing. So, yeah. you know, and like I was trying to explain with the two guys that I podcast with, yes. And so you made it awkward podcast, you can find it everywhere. They were trying to explain to me, it's like maybe you're just trying to hate these movies. It's like, no, I'm not, because like I mentioned to them, with the passing away, for example, of George Perez and Neil Adams and a lot of comic book artists that are excuse me, that are passing away. um they deserve that respect for creating this universe, right? Same with DC. um you know to flip around just because you want to be politically correct or whatever. um yeah, these shows deserve way more than what they're doing. um Deep, yeah, it's just better to make things new. It is time to go on the offense. You're damn right. I totally agree. Yeah, there are worse. They are worse than a B movie, more like C minus movies. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I I totally agree. Yeah, C minus movie. God, can you imagine? I wonder if we could actually have movies like that, C minus movies. Probably. Um, but yeah, you know what? That's not even explained. It's like, how does Wanda even know of America Chavez and her powers, right? If she's from like a different reality. Like, think about this for a minute. Think about this. Out of the possible millions, billions, almost near infinite amount of realities that are in the multiverse, somehow, some way, Wanda just finds out willy nilly that Guatemala Chavez just has these powers and she's hopping from universe to universe. Like, are you kidding me? Right? And it's like, and why send a squid monster in the beginning of the movie when she could have just done this herself, right? Like, I have to like lurk in the showers. Oh, in the showers. Oh God, yeah, I do need to drink. I just need to lurk in the shadows. Nobody can know that I'm doing this horrible thing. Oh no, I got found out. Oh well. you know, and why not ask Wanda? Or sorry, not ask Wanda. Why doesn't Wanda ask Puerto Rico Chavez to send her to a different reality? You know, maybe to a reality where her kids are orphans, and she and Vision, if she could go out and just maybe go out and find Vision, become the parents of maybe those orphan kids that are like her own kids that she dreamt up, and take care of them. Why not that? Why steal her power? Why not just go up to her, be nice and kind, and say, "Hey, America, I know that you have these powers. Can you just, I don't have my kids anymore. Can you just put me into a universe where Vision and I can maybe adopt these children that I lost where they lost their parents, and then you know what? Hey, it's a win-win, right?" But no, let's just suck her power out because one life to is good enough to trade for two, for an imagination that just basically I dreamt up in a village where I took over people's minds like the meatbags that they are, but yet I have to justify what I'm doing for a selfless act that you did, Strange. No, it just no. This is not really at this point a Doctor Strange movie. You can slowly see it at this point becoming a WandaVision season 2 movie, basically guest starring Doctor Strange, the mediocre sorcerer unsupreme. I don't know. So so she shows up to I don't know, Valhalla or whatever the place's name is. Strange traps her in the mirror dimension, and this is the other problem I got with if the mirror dimension, like as explained in the first movie, is so inescapable, like you're essentially trapped there forever. It's so easy for Wanda to get out because I don't know, vagina. Oh, look, I can get out through puddles, through reflections. Like, oh my god. Like, Strange is trapped in the mirror dimension, with Spider-Man No Way Home for, let's say, thinking back quick here, maybe a couple of days, something like that. But, no, Wanda just has to move slowly and touch the sides of the mirror dimension that she's trapped in. And, oh, that looks like I'm staring out of a puddle. Let's just bloop. Okay, I'm going to escape from that. Like, oh my god. Uh, Pop Culture Express. Silver lining, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch is very hot. Well, you know what? The last episode, I believe, of WandaVision, sure. This, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll give it that much at least. She is kind of rocking that bad girl look. I'll give it that much. Um, so I thought that's so ridiculous. It basically just makes it look like Doctor Strange's powers isn't really that good at all. Like he really doesn't know what he's doing. Like if this is supposed to be so inescapable, but Wanda gets out no problem. Okay, yeah, sure. I can just escape through a reflection. Then it just kind of says that, hey, I'm not exactly the sorcerer supreme that I'm supposed to be. I just pull rabbits out of my hats. I don't know. So yeah, battle, battle, battle. Then you got later on, I guess, in the movie, the Illuminati, um, which in the comics, it's pretty cool. I kind of understand that there were some characters that they didn't have in the Illuminati. Like, I do understand that Namor is supposed to be part of the Illuminati. He's not in it, maybe because they're kind of saving him for later or something like that. I don't know. But then again, this is alternate universe Illuminati. So, you got Peggy Carter as, Captain Carter. And then yeah, Reed Richards, Black Bolt, Captain Marvel, and of course Professor X. And what's his name? The other one that wanted to be Sorcerer Supreme. I honestly cannot think of his name, so forgive me, guys. Um, yeah. So Strange sees a statue of himself. He got rid of Thanos. It's like, yeah, I used the dark hole to get him. But we kind of realize that using the dark hold and peering into other multiverses, those strangers turn bad. So then again, by osmosis, you're bad, even though you haven't done anything bad. So we're gonna have to kill you because you might be bad, even though you haven't done really anything bad. What? Like, then they bring 616 Strange, which obviously because they found out that being in an alternate universe, that somehow for some odd reason they designated that universe to be 616, even though really technically it's only the comics that's 616 and the MCU or now MCU is 616, which absolutely makes no sense whatsoever, but whatever, it is what it is, I guess. um Yeah, so therefore, because our Strange was bad, because other strangers were bad, you more than likely are bad as well. So we're going to keep you in cuffs. Yeah, the logic on that kind of fails me. I'm sorry. You know, and Buddy there that plays Reed Richards. Um, oh God, I'm really honestly trying to remember his name because it was like pretty much everywhere. Um, online. Because obviously, yeah, Patrick Stewart, played Professor X. You know what? And I gotta say, it was like nice to see Bruce Campbell. So that was kind of awesome. Um, God, what is dude's name again? That played Reed Richards. Um, it's gonna bug me. It's really gonna bug me, and I don't want to have to look it up and waste time. So let me think. Um, it was yeah, John Krasinski. Right. You know what? I did like him playing Doctor Strange, but for some odd reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but that Reed Richards feels like it's it's John Krasinski playing Jim from The Office. For some reason, I'm. Hey, Lenrod, how's it going? Nah, a little bit late. Don't worry about it. Hopefully, I'm going to be chatting as long as I did last time. So I'm just babbling on while everybody is chit chatting away. So, but yeah, that Reed Richards feels like John's Jim from The Office. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was all right. It was okay. I really don't have a problem um, with it. It just meh. That's just me. Um, but you know what? Yeah. So Wanda shows up, and or I should say, daydreaming Wanda shows up because she took over that universe's Wanda, and somehow she knows where Doctor Strange is, and the Illuminati have to fight away. And oh my God, I'm sorry. It's just this battle. See, this is also the problem that I'm seeing now. And maybe it's just because, because the whole Me Too thing that took place like 4 years ago, you know, women need to be the powerhouses because obviously this is now the Marvel, the MCverse, MCU. Wanda's like way too overpowerful in the MCU because now she can basically evade any trap, any defense, and and any opponent because I don't know Wanda because vagina or something like that. Um, yeah, come on. Like, she takes care of Reed, like basically turning him into a bunch of confetti, into a bunch of sausages, and then pop, pop goes his head. So, and it was kind of funny because, Wanda very quickly gets rid of essentially all the men first, right? Um, and Black Bolt, it's like, oh my God. It's like, like don't underestimate Black Bolt, and one word from his mouth can just totally obliterate you. It's like, one is like, what mouth, right? So, she pulls a Matrix. She pulls a Mr. Anderson, right? Like what Agent Smith did in the Matrix. And oh yeah, Black Bolt has no mouth. And he tries to say something, and the back of his head basically turns to mush. For the love of God. Greetings, Thomas. Greetings, folks from Britain. Don't know how long I'll be here since it's pretty late over there. Well, thank you for joining all the way from England. Wow. It's official now. I have now gone international. So hello from Canada to you. And also, yeah, thank you for staying up late. I know you guys are like 8 hours behind what I currently am right now. So, yeah. So Black Bolt has no mouth, tries to utter something. It's like, I don't know why you would. You have no mouth, right? And then basically his head turns to mush, or his brain at least does, because I guess what? The reverberation. Um, well, yeah, Lenrod, yeah, that's right. You're in the States, so I guess I already was international. So yeah. I should have said transatlantic. Yes, I am a fellow Canadian. Although I don't say I find that primarily Ontario when people from Ontario say that. So, okay. Um, but yeah, I thought that was so ridiculous, right? So, boom, Black Bolt gone like that. Um, but Captain Carter takes over. Oh God, and I thought this was so strange because she uses Cap's line like, "I can do this all day." It's like, oh my God, you just did not do that. But hey, it's okay. Wanda can take on a super soldier in hand-to-hand combat. That's not a problem whatsoever for Wanda because vagina power. Like, get real. Like, frig off, movie. And then, Captain Marvel, that Captain Marvel at least, for all her cosmic power might, she gets squished like a bug. Like by a statue. I mean, come on, seriously. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I was born in Ontario, so there you go. So it was so stupid, right? Because these guys, each of these people are like powerhouses in their own way, right? Because obviously, Carter, if she is trained at all, like Steve Rogers, she would have had the battle all figured out. Black Bolt, I'm sorry, his powers would not work that way. Like his powers would just not reverberate in his mouth and mush his brain. Reed probably would have just, wrapped her up so she can't use any hand signs to conjure up any magic. And Captain Marvel would have just given her a cosmic powered pounding. So, like, seriously. But the one big thing, that took the icing on the cake, okay, is Professor X. Like, God. Like, we all know from the comics, okay, from reading X-Men, from reading, a lot of other X-Men crossovers in the whole Marvel universe, Professor X is the world's most powerful psychic ever. Jean Grey, depending on what kind of Jean Grey you're talking about, not powered by Phoenix or anything like that, is second, right? So Professor X basically freezes her, tries to get, in Wanda's mind, that Wanda out, from like, a load of debris, to basically free her so that evil Wanda, that's basically using her as a meat sack yet again, can be kicked out, um, gets defeated. Like, are you serious? God. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. So, I just had to shake my head. Oh, and apparently, um, Peruvian Chavez is an alien. She's not actually Puerto Rican, but for some odd reason, she can speak Spanish. So, yeah, uh, I could go on and on. I mean, don't get me wrong. The visuals, while they're hopscotching around universes and stuff like that, it's very, how should I put it? It's very eye catching, right? There's a lot to look at. Um, as they're going between dimensions. And even as they're, like I said, hopscotching, from one universe to another universe to another universe. Um, but it's pretty much primarily a lot of eye candy, really. I Yeah, and then because I know this is like already an hour in, and I don't want to take a lot of time on this whole subject, but but basically, in the end, Strange doesn't even really defeat her. Um, it's American Chavez. Strange is like, I have to use your power to defeat her, to get rid of her. And it's like, no, just trust me because I'm America Chavez, and I can do this, and I'll just punch her, like, and punch her, like, all of a sudden, finally now, because before she didn't really even know how to use her powers. Now that she has that determination, she knows how to use her powers somehow. Magic. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying that. Magically speaking, she just all of a sudden knows how to use her powers. Punches Wanda a couple of times, knocks her into a dimension where she sees the kids, with other Wanda, their mom, and all I hear is, yeah, all I hear is Hugo Chavez. That's right. And basically she lets Wanda defeat herself because it's like, oh, hi kids, I'm here to, to take you away. You don't need your real mom, you just need me. And so because, yeah, of course, why would you allow Doctor Strange, who isn't even really the Sorcerer Supreme, be the hero in his own movie? It needs to be taken away by culturally, and I suppose in this case, extraterrestrially diverse Central American Chavez, and Wanda takes a bow out instead of letting a white male defeat her. No, I'm gonna take myself out, and collapses the whole temple and Wundagore on herself. It's like, oh my god, you can't even give Strange, who's supposed to be the hero in his own movie, you can't even give him like this one score. So I'm sorry. You know, Visually speaking, it's a fun movie. Especially like the scene with Bruce Campbell. And yes, Sam Raimi's car is in the movie, just in case you wanted to know. And Sam Raimi does what Sam Raimi does best with Bruce Campbell, and basically have him abuse himself. Curiously speaking, with the same hand that he had to lose in Evil Dead, right? So quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Um, yeah, and plus on top of that, it's like I think another cringe moment was like America's quote when they were in one universe is like, in most universes, food is free. It's like, what? Because all other universes have to be communist and everybody has to work for free. Like, how in the hell does that even work? do do, do farmers just like, I'm just gonna grow a crap load of food and and somehow the gas used for my tractor will just magically get paid for itself, or somebody's gonna hand it to me. Everybody works for free in other universes. Like, give me a break. This is so stupid. Oh my god. So yeah, that's why I give this Doctor Strange movie, I don't know, a 5 or a 6 out of 10. It's just meh. It's it's not really even a Doctor Strange movie. Um, it's WandaVision, um, season 2 without Vision. It's that's all that it is. That's all that it is. Yeah, Snaggle Fricklepuss. It's a Wanda movie. It's true. Yeah, it's basically the results of, I don't know, Spider-Man No Way Home and WandaVision. Yeah, it's basically a WandaVision season 2. You know what? You could have easily, probably, have made this movie a Disney Plus series, and it probably would have done better, realistically. Um, yeah, that's essentially it. I don't know. That's all about that. Um, so that's all about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There wasn't even that much multiverse. There was probably like, let's see, mainstream MCU verse, followed by a few in between, but it went by so quick that you really can't even register mostly what they are. Especially Paintverse. And then you got, the Illuminati verse, followed by the world coming apart verse, where the other evil Doctor Strange was. So essentially, you got 4. So sure, I guess the visuals in itself made it kind of that madnessy part, but I don't know. It's about it. Um, but on a positive note, um, on to the next Doctor. Yeah, so over the weekend, um a new doctor was announced to take over um for Jodie Whittaker. Thank God. Um and the rhyming verse with verse. Oh my God, Jesus. Yeah, it's like having Wheelie from Transformers, constantly in your ear all the time, wouldn't it be? If you get the reference that I'm talking about. So yeah, so now we got a new Doctor Who that's out there. Kuti Gatwa, who, from my understanding, is, well, originally he's from Rwanda, but I guess since he was like really little, he grew up in Scotland. So this is gonna be interesting. Uh, very interesting. Let me see if I can share the screen here. So let me see here. So we got Nakuti Gatwa is the next Doctor. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Um, I'm going to say it right out first. Anything at this point that comes after Jodie Whittaker is most welcome by far. So long as Chibnall and Whittaker and the rest of the crew just go away, I will be happy to welcome this guy as the new Doctor. I oh my God, and I know we got another episode or two or something like that where Jodie just goes away, and for the love of God, I just hope she goes away. And I know the 60th anniversary of the Doctor, Doctor Who, is coming up. I do not even want her revisited, talked about, or just whatever, just anything ever again, right? So yeah. Oh, Thomas Hooker, right. I gotta head off, folks. Have a good night's sleep. Hope you all check out my story and other projects BBV does. Good night. Well, Thomas, thank you for coming over, for listening. I really, really appreciate it. Spread me around. It would really help out. Yeah, I gotta also say that I'm up to 246. I am 4 away from 250 subs. And as promised, if you've seen that video previously, I will have a draw for something out of my collection. So thank you, Thomas, for showing up. I really hope you have a good night. And thank you for staying up late and listening. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so here's my take, okay? I do not necessarily have a problem. I don't have a problem with the with oh God, I hope this sounds right. I don't have a problem with the Doctor being a black guy. Okay? I don't. I really don't. All I care about is if the story is good, if the writing is good, you got me. It's as simple as that, right? And yeah, you know what, Linrod? Yeah, I know it sounds like a diversity hire. I really do. And that was almost the first thing that I thought of. It's like, okay, let's check this box, right? Because, we had to check the other box of Jodie being a female Doctor now, because it's so bold and diverse, and then of course we had the other one where the Doctor was a black, chunky looking kind of female. So, my God, I'm like, the fudge. I don't want to get a strike against me. That's why I'm trying really hard not to swear. Yeah. Like, lose the dyed hair. Anime work. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. He would have to, right? Because I just cannot see myself with, like, some white haired uh doctor like that. Like, please, just please, please. So I'm okay with that, for the same reason that I would have been okay. Let's say this, after Daniel Craig, right? Because obviously, the movie that came out last year, that was like his last, right? So, and of course, as I said, James Bond will return, because James Bond always returns. So long as it is not a female James Bond, like they try to make this 007. Anyway, that's another thing that I already explained on another video last year. So there, not going to get into it again, but you guys know what I mean. So, um, for example, whoever plays James Bond after Daniel Craig, you know what? I would even be okay with that Edris guy. Um, guy that played Heimdall, um, and what was it? And a lot of other movies that he was in. What was that Stephen King movie that he was in? The Gunslinger, something like that. Anyway, you know what? And I don't mind his acting. And you know what? I'd be okay if he was James Bond, right? So long as you write it right? Um, and not because I'm up for diversity and and retconning and stuff like that. I'm not. It's just that I think at this point of over 50 years of Bond, you know, at this point, obviously, that all of these actors are probably maybe not the same. Well, obviously, they're not the same James Bond, but it's kind of like they take on the name for the sake of the job, kind of like that secret identity, like that. Uh, like how Superman, he goes by the name of Clark Kent, even though his real name is Kal-El. It's kind of like that super secret name identity kind of thing. So I would be okay if somebody like Idris Elba, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, would be James Bond. So in this case, if the writing is there, as long as we're not having, Chris Chibnall level of writing, I'd be okay with this guy as Doctor. Yes, like the Phantom. So, and I hope, I really hope, because I can't stand Whitaker, especially, and everybody says it. I don't care, what other YouTubers are out there. Pretty much all of them, the ones that at least have half a brain, say, Timeless Children was the one that just ruined it for everybody. If that's retconned, I'm okay with it, right? If that whole entire Whitaker thing, the whole Whitaker run is just retconned, if Russell T Davies brings back the Who that we remember and retcons that whole entire Jodie Whittaker thing, I would be happy. Will it happen? Probably not. More than likely, unless there's some sort of storyline that comes out where it's like, I don't know, maybe the Master or something like that fiddled around with the Doctor's regeneration, or or the whole thing. Like, who would believe the Master anyway? So why would the Doctor even believe the Master that this kind of thing happened to her or something like that, right? It's like, that doesn't even make any sense. But anyway, and so long as Russell T Davies doesn't turn this into a, make it all about race or the color of, the color of my skin kind of thing, and turn it into, I don't know, white man bad, everybody also color good, that kind of bull crap, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. It'll kind of be the return of Doctor Who after a few years hiatus, right? And I have a little bit of hope for this, because reading on that Doctor Who site, okay, with the news and features that Kuti Gatwa is the Doctor, it says something very interesting, okay? So Kuti said, there aren't quite the words to describe how I'm feeling. A mix of deeply honored, beyond excited, and of course a little bit scared. This role and show means so much to so many around the world, including myself. And to each one of my incredibly talented predecessors has handled that unique responsibility and privilege with the utmost care. I will endeavor my utmost to do the same. Okay, cool. Russell T Davies is almost as iconic as the Doctor himself. Yeah, pretty much. I'll give it that much. And being able to work with him is a dream come true. His writing is dynamic, exciting, incredibly intelligent, and fizzing with danger. An actor's metaphorical playground. The entire team has been so welcoming and truly give their hearts to the show. And so, as much as it's daunting, I'm aware I'm joining a really supportive family. Unlike the Doctor, I may only have one heart, but I'm giving it all to this show. So, you know what? When Jodie took over, even while she was the Doctor, she never even really said anything like this. Not even close. The most that basically came out of her mouth is like, oh, well, maybe it's just a male centered show. It's like, oh, God, I just want to slap the crap. Oh, just slap the crap out of her for saying stuff like that. It's like, no, there have been hundreds, thousands upon thousands of men and women that have equally liked Doctor Who as it was, right? So, to this new guy, if he's saying something like this, I got a little bit of hope. Okay, I'm maybe I'm a sucker, but I'm gonna give it at least a chance. But God forbid if I start hearing about race issues. Oh, crap. The other thing that worries me a little bit is, as for his filmography, he doesn't really have much. I mean, he's done 2 films, like one in 2019 with Horrible Histories, the movie, about the Rotten Romans. And what was it? Another movie that came out last year, The Last Letter from Your Lover. And apparently he's doing the Barbie movie, which is filming right now, which comes out next year. And as for television, I mean, back in 2014, he did a show called Bob's Servant, where he's a male customer, and he's only in one episode of that. In 2015, he plays the role of some guy named Dougie in a show called Stonemouth, and he's only in 2 episodes of that. And from 2019 to now, he's been in a show called Sex Education, 24 episodes. Apparently, he's the main role. And I guess another show coming up, some American war drama miniseries called Masters of the Air, and only 3 episodes. And now Doctor Who. And I guess he did a video game called Grid Legends, where he does some stop motion and voice acting. So yeah, I agree, Lenrod. Hope can be dangerous. So that being said, with his resume, I don't know. I really honestly don't know. That from the fact that, I'm wondering if we're going to hear some sort of Rwandan accent meshed in with some sort of Scottish accent. I don't even know what that would sound like. Scottish I can do a little bit, but because you have a certain drawl talking like that, depending what part of Scotland you come from, but mixed in with like Rwandan, I kind of imagine that whatsoever. I don't know. Um, I really don't know. Maybe that's just my fatal flaw. Maybe that's my character flaw. I have hope when I probably should give up hope. So, um, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I just hope for the best. Then again, with Sony buying Bad Wolf Productions, um, you know, and their recent, I suppose you could say, successes with Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was beautiful, which was an awesome movie, and obviously the way they handle Spider-Man, which was okay in my books. I mean, obviously no movie is perfect, unless it's The Empire Strikes Back, which that was perfect. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Anyway, um, Spider-Man being good. Um, Sony's not having any of the bull crap, and I believe they've made that quite clear with Doctor Who. They're not having any more of this bull crap anymore, because Sony seems like they understand. Seems like they gotten the message. Hopefully, you know. Um, I mean, MGM is now owned by Amazon, and I'm not even going to talk about that. Fox is now owned by Disney, so that leaves pretty much Paramount and Warner Brothers on their own devices. But Sony, yeah, Warner Brothers acts like, the kid on Coke, right? The rich kid on Coke that basically, doesn't care what anybody says whatsoever. They're just going to do what they're going to do. But Sony, yeah, they're not having any more of this woke bullcrap. And yes, Lenrod, I agree. They are in it for the monies. Yeah, totally agree. Um, because the money does speak. So I want to be helpful. I want to believe that Russell T Davies is, yes, Snaggle fucking Post. Agree. The money talks. It's all about the Benjamins. Yeah, I just really hope for the best that Russell T Davies can turn this around and bring back, somehow, some way, that Who that I've been watching ever since I was a kid. I mean, I've watched all of these episodes from William Hartnell to, God, like every televised episode I could ever get my hands on. Um, you know, I just want Who back. I am so sick and tired of Jodie Whittaker. God, I just don't want it anymore. Um, so yeah, uh, I don't really want to get into what was it, Strange New Worlds, the Doctor on that, um, because it's not Bones, and I know it's supposed to be, before Jim Kirk took over Enterprise, and I know it's supposed to be about Pike and what's her face? She just looked kind of hot. Nurse. Oh crap! Why am I drawing a blank right now? That's stupid. Nurse Chapel, right? Nurse Chapel. I gotta agree with Doomcock on that. She does look rather hot. She does look nice. She's easy on the eyes. Um, but yeah, that's just a mess of a show. And I'm gonna leave it for people like uh people like Clobbern Times Clobby and Doomcock and everybody else to talk about Star Trek, because that is more their wheelhouse. I'm not an expert on Star Trek like them, but I do know enough to know that it was not. It's what can I say? Like everybody else has said, it's Kurtzman Trek. That's all that there is. It's just Kurtzman Trek. Oh God, I can't believe it. Just teleporting the goop so Spock couldn't get caught. Oh, it's like transporters don't work that way, and transporters in the medical in the doctor's office, basically it's like, what, that doesn't, no, that's not right. And oh god, just everything else. I'm sorry. Just blah. I don't want to get into a whole tirade about that. Um, but yeah, I seem to have done it again. That's not bad. Almost an hour and a half of talking to you, beautiful people. Um, so yeah, show number 5, and I am grateful for all of you people that have showed up today. Snaggle Fricklepuss and Lenrod and yes, and Thomas Hooker. Thank you for dropping by, even though you're more than likely still not here and probably in bed. So thank you also for showing up. And Deef, I hope you are still there. Hi, Deef, and Mr. Hyde's Pop Culture Express. Thank you also for showing up. And Janet from another planet, I hope you're still there. And Blaster on top of that. I thank you all for showing up. Um, this is it's nice that hopefully I am making a difference. Um, yeah, it's just my rantings of a madman. Uh, so just just trying to express my opinion, trying to I'm not trying to point out these fallacies. Yeah, thank you, Snuggle for Puss. Thank you for being here. Um, it's not that I want to hate these movies. I really honestly don't want to hate these movies. Um, I do want to enjoy them. Really, honestly, I do. I really honestly do. Um, like I tried to explain to the other two guys that I do this podcast with. And now you made it awkward podcast, which you can find on YouTube and on podcasts everywhere, whether on iPhone or Android or whatever. Um, it's not that I'm trying to hate these movies. It's just that with creators, for example, like creators that have passed away now, like George Perez and Neil Adams and a lot of others that are aging. I mean, Sergio Aragones, the guy that did Gru the Wanderer. I love Gru the Wanderer. He's like 87. Somebody pointed out to me. Or for example, people that have showed up that have worked in comics, like Hungry Boy, for example. It'd be nice if he was actually here. Um, even though we don't know who he is, then you have other people, like him, like say Walter Simonson or John Byron, um, a whole other slew of people that have worked in the industry that have made these characters what they are because we've enjoyed reading them for decades. To see them displayed in movies like this, just to be sacrificed on the altar of wokeness or political correctness, it's pretty much like a crime in itself, because essentially you're giving that middle finger to the people that have worked so hard, that have given their lives to this entertainment medium, and saying, yeah, thanks for making these characters, but you know what? They're ours to play around with now. As screw the origin that you came up with, or forget the stuff that you've done. We're gonna take it from here. We're gonna do it our way. And that's probably why another reason why manga and anime is so successful, because they respect the creators. Whenever you see an anime that's come out that's been made from a manga, it's pretty much word for word, even scene for scene, the exact same as the manga. Because that level of respect for the creators is there, but not here. And later on, yeah, people whose parents were rebels, so they've had nothing to rebel against growing up. Yeah, now they're particularly rebelling against everyone else's. Yeah, that's so true, right? it's it's stupid. It's ridiculous. If Hollywood were to respect all of these creators the way they should be, excuse me, um, these shows and these movies would just be so much more. They would just be slaughtering it at the box office, guaranteed, 100%. But no, like Michael Bay would say, it just wouldn't work like that in the movies. Well, you know what? Bumblebee came out, and that did way better than any other Michael Bay Transformers movie. So it did work. You know, and if Marvel Studios would wake up, they would find out pretty much the same thing. So anyway, I am going to, after an hour and a half of droning on, I'm going to call it a night. And thank you again to everyone that showed up. I really appreciate you guys hanging on and letting me rant and rave for an hour and a half, giving my opinion, and talking about, yet again, all the nerdy stuff that we love and that we don't want to see destroyed. Yes, as it stands, I am at 246 subscribers. So 4 more. And like I said, I will do a draw for a piece of my collection that I will give. Nothing like a good rant. You are so damn right. Yes. So at 250, I am giving a piece of my collection away to some lucky person out there. So spread. there's no pretty way of saying it. Please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I have another video up, and spread me around like the Black Plague so I can infect everyone with my message of why Hollywood does shit the way they do. There's no pretty way of putting it. So, and hopefully the solution of what we can do to maybe save pulp culture. So, because I would really appreciate it, and I just want to grow like everybody else out there and try to save what we have. So to all of you out there, thank you for joining tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Have a good evening, and I will see you next week on another Titillating Tuesdays. This is the Comic Relief Crusader, over and out. Thanks for stopping by.